Hello everybody, welcome to the stream. Apologies, I actually have not opened up my streaming software yet. But how's everybody doing today? I see Cinder, Zolara, and Ash. How you guys doing? Hope you guys are doing well. There we go, we got it open. Let's get right into this. I'm excited. Pure Cresselia hunting today. How you guys doing? Hope you guys have been having a good Tuesday. I'm excited for this hunt. So yeah, let's get right into it. I need to double check that I have the berries, or like the leopard berries set up. Working on school stuff right now. Best of luck with that. Hope it's going well. You are. That's awesome. That's great, Zolara. That is great. It's been a pretty chill day here. Just still wrapping up things with work. Okay, now Trevenant does have an item. Never mind. We are good. You're good. So yeah. It's just encounters from here on out today. Just Cresselia. Pure focus on Cresselia. Hopefully it means we can get a shiny today. Trying to organize all my things the best way I can on the desk. I'm still working on getting my desk set up and organized, so some wires are going to move around, so some things are going to get like reorganized and placed in different spots. Berries. Yeah, we just have to make sure the Trevenant has berries. Has a leopard berry that it can bestow onto Cresselia, so that we don't have any risks of failure in terms of it struggling or anything like that. Yo, Goldie, welcome to the stream. How are you doing today? Hope you're doing well. I'm excited, guys. We got Ralts yesterday, we got Giratina the day before, we got Regigigas the day before that. Let's see if we can continue the, or I guess no. Giratina was 2 days before Ralts, right? Yeah. Well, let's hope we can get a 4th shiny in a week. That'd be awesome. Got a perfect score in your math end of the year test somehow. That's awesome. Congratulations, Goldie. I bet you worked hard for that. Science, not math. Ah, I see. But awesome. That's still awesome, no matter what the subject. You missed Ralts. Well, the Ralts highlight video will be up tomorrow. It was literally the last encounter of the stream yesterday. Like it probably wasn't gonna be the last encounter, but we were close enough to the end of the stream that there was no need to go on any longer. You know, we had passed 200, which was kind of my goal for the day, was to get from 100 to 200. So any extra encounters were just bonus, and then one of those bonuses was a shiny Ralts, which was pretty incredible to get. I was very excited for that. It's my first Gen 6 shiny ever. You got Ralts yesterday? Yeah, we got it like the last encounter of the stream. I mean, yeah, the last encounter of the stream, because we ended the stream after we got it, but it was in like the last 5 minutes of the stream. Yeah, so I was really excited about that. Hopefully our luck is just turning around in general after that ridiculous Regigigas hunt. Yeah, and as soon as the stream ends today, I've got a 3D print I'm gonna be starting. For part of the thing on my desk, I printed one of them already. It's little stands for a shelf. So basically I'm gonna have like, basically just 2 of these under a piece of like shelving underneath my monitor, so I have some like space to tuck in some wires and put some stuff on. So this one finished printing today. It looks really cool, I think. I'm also just gonna print another. It takes like 22 hours to print though, so I was very glad it finished up before the stream, because I don't know if I would have been able to do it. You got a communication error as soon as you connect to the internet. It just knows. It just knows you're gonna have issues. It's Nintendo Online, man. I don't know what's up with Nintendo's online stuff, because it is kind of ridiculous like that. I also, now that I'm doing more solo 3DS hunts again, the Ralts, this Cresselia, I need to fix this layout up. Peonia has Xerneas' location. Nice. Yeah, so I think once we get Cresselia here, guys, I think my plan will be to start hunting Unova Legends during Dynamax streams still. I think that'll still happen, but I think there'll be kind of a plan to hunt other stuff, like on any other day we're using the 3DS. Doing some SOS hunts, like Riolu on Friday, potentially today. If we get Cresselia, I don't have any other legendary lined up, and the wormhole runs I'm not really feeling doing right now, because I'm going to need one of my cartridges, one way or the other, to do some Unova hunts. So the plan will be, I think, to just switch over and do Riolu. Potentially in Sun, I'm not sure. I'm actually not prepped. You want to keep the locations you have, which is Solgaleo, Tapu Fini, and Heatran. Gotcha. I think by that time you're raiding in WoW. Was helping out your old guild down the last boss on the current raid. Missed a shiny because of it. That'll teach you to try and be helpful. Yeah, right? How dare you help people out? How dare you be like a nice person? The anti-karma. Yeah, no, it was actually pretty stressful to catch it though, because like one of the biggest benefits of Oras is like Ralts doesn't know teleport until like level 12. So any Ralts encountered on that first route that you can hunt Ralts on is generally level 4, unless you're Dex Nab chaining, in which case you can get them that are level 13 plus, and we got a level 13 one, so it knew teleport. Fortunately, it telegraphs what its first move is when you're gonna walk into it, and it was gonna use like a Misty Terrain. So it used that. I false swiped it, and we caught it in the Pokeball immediately after that. So there was no, fortunately, there was no stress of it potentially using teleport, because I would have been really concerned with a 1 HP Ralts like that. I would have been really scared. You have a 555 Dynite Ore. Nice. I actually don't know how much Dynite Ore I have because I never use it. I feel like I have no use for it because I don't like do any. I don't do much as far as the Dynamaxing, especially outside of like Dynamax adventures. They ended up finally getting him down with your help. Nice! Felt kind of nice being able to help them do it because there's people who got you to start the game. Hey, that's awesome. That's great. Shows the progress you've made. Got a chance to pay them back for teaching you how to play the game. Yeah, that's great. It's awesome when like you have like communities like that that are, you know, kind of tight knit and all wanting to help each other out. Yeah, that's great. One second. I also need to fix my monitor. I don't know if you've noticed the camera. Like I think every day the camera's drooped just a little bit more. It's not a problem. It's not like a continuous thing. Or like it is a continuous thing technically, but like it hasn't been horrifically bad. Sorry, type in one thing real quick. There we go. Alright, cool. Now we can reset and go. But yeah, so I gotta so I have to tighten my monitor stand more, especially on the side that my camera is on. It's a little bit, it's drooping a little bit. I just gotta get like a bar and like put it on top of the wrench that came with it and just really crank it down. That's not too bad. Are you running some adventures now, Goldie? Best of luck with those. I'd join if I wasn't doing this. I'm feeling like we'll get to around 200-ish encounters today. I guess we'll probably get in about 200 encounters. I would assume, given 2 hours of this, maybe 250. So probably put us around 300, I guess, which should be awesome. I'm so glad that we found Cresselia in the red wormhole fast, because that would have been such a pain to have to have kept running the wormholes on was it Saturday? Yeah, it was Saturday. Yeah, I'm excited to hunt for Riolu on Friday. So we're doing Jirachi tomorrow, so I gotta get that part set back up. The GameCubes still are like on my desk, but not wired at all. The like power cables for them or whatever you see on the floor back there. I just haven't I haven't wired those back up because I don't know quite where they're going. I think it'll be a temporary thing because I'm planning on making my desk a little bit bigger and probably putting them on that new part. So it'll be a little bit, I think, before they're in a permanent home. So I gotta get something set up so I can use those as I need to. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for all the hunts this week, especially the race against Puffin on Sunday. So definitely tune in, guys, to that. So that'll be a lot of fun. Imagine Calyrex, God Rider on Arceus. That'd be a little bit overpowered, I assume. Can become any type that he wants. Yeah, Rose Girl, welcome to the stream. Got luck to share. You're going insane for a Cantonian Vulpix in Moon. 17,848 eggs. What the heck? Rose Girl, by the way, welcome to the stream. I feel like it's been forever since I've seen you. Yeah, hope you're doing well. Hope things have been going well for you. But that's insane! I hope you find it soon. That's a ridiculous number, no matter what odds you have. Especially in Moon, you're at least 4 times over odds. No matter what else, you're 4 times over odds. Imagine it's kind of bizarre for them to think that, because a year ago they decided to carry a baby healer through some dungeons. They ended up finally getting that last push to their AOTC being ahead of the curve. Oh, nice! It's gonna farm for Sableye eggs? Alright, sounds good. Dang, Rose Girl, best of luck, seriously. Almost 18,000 in Gen 7. That's genuinely crazy. You cannot make your odds worse than 1 in 4096. Especially with eggs, where you're not like encountering other things that you could count towards the counter. That's insane. I hope you find it soon. I'm giving you some of my luck. I've had a good bit the past week, so I'm gonna give you some of it. Hopefully you find it soon. So at this point, you've absolutely earned it at this point. There's no reason to be going on that long. Yo, Sour! Welcome to the stream. Hopping into the chat with... It's shiny Inteleons, but no shiny Rowlet yet. I hope you find the Rowlet soon, because it is a good shiny. It's funny though, I found out that one of the main reasons you got carried through the dungeons is because one of the tanks was happy to potentially have another healer in the guild. Nice. Now you're no longer a healer, nor are you in their guild. Hey, I mean, it's an investment, it's a risk, but they got you into it, and you helped them out today. Yo, how's it going, Wake? Welcome to the stream, man. How's job stuff going for you? Did you hear back from that one company yet? So I know you sent them that email saying, hey, I need a response now. I need your Archer Burb Bean. Yes. Everyone needs the Burb Bean. I hope this Cresselia doesn't end up, like, being a Regigigas. I'm really hoping for it to be more like Giratina or Heatran. Even Heatran took a little while, but I'm hoping for it to be, like, less than Heatran in terms of number of encounters. Gonna go on the record, you're gonna record it for once. Ooh, nice. When you start the Scorbunny hunt, you're gonna keep count of the eggs you hatch to get an exact number. You'll add 5s every batch. That sounds like a good plan. That's a pretty safe way to do it, and then you can figure out within that batch just the order in terms of, like, when it hatched. Not as good as it could be. The other company said they'd get back to you at the end of the day. Nothing yet, and regarding the company that sent you the offer yesterday, oh no. Are they asking for a response sooner now? I'm still waiting to hear back from stuff for my new job, too. Like, all the background checks and stuff cleared, so I'm good there, but, like, I still just need to know details. They're in a location where apartments are quite expensive. That happens. With the wage you're paying me, you could potentially lose money in the long run. Yeah, I gotcha. That's an important thing to keep in mind, for sure. Generally, one of the ways to kind of try to save money with apartments is to find someone to room with. I don't know how much you'd want to be doing that. Like, generally, that's something that's good when you know someone, or there's, like, another intern also going to be there that, like, you can kind of, like, figure stuff out with. So that's always a possibility. But yeah, I feel that. Living situations are definitely a big part of, like, deciding with jobs and stuff. The pandemic made it a little bit easier for certain fields. Like, in my case, CS. Like, in general, odds are we'll work from home for pretty much the rest of our careers. So I don't have to worry about, like, if there's a job, like, downtown city center kind of deal where it's, like, apartments are, you know, approaching $4 grand a month or something, like, insane. I don't have to live there. I can go live out in the middle of nowhere and pay, like, less than a quarter of that for, like, rent of a house instead of, like, a one-bedroom, right? Like, that's just really nice with the pandemic for, like, me, but I totally get that. If you're gonna have to go move somewhere and stuff, like, that's honestly part of what happened with my job now. Is, like, I knew the commute would be terrible, so I got an apartment that was insanely close to the job, at the cost of it being, like, way more than it could have been if I went a little bit out of the city. So fortunately, now I know the pandemic's a thing, and by the time this lease is up, I'll have been able to figure out from my new company, like, hey, how often will I be coming into the office? And I can decide from there where I rent. When you hatch the rally, you're going to record it so you can witness its shiny animation when it hatches. Since we hatched the Sobbles, you accidentally missed it. I see. And John the Pikachu, welcome to the stream. Alan, welcome as well. And Lord Mev, welcome. How you doing? Good to see you, Mev. Yeah, Mev, you were the one who asked about, like, how long my hair had gotten. Like, it was, like, it was almost, like, just shaved against my head. That's how much hair there is. It's finally going away. Yeah, I appreciate that, Alan. Really wanted the job, too. It's data engineering, which you really want to do. So you're hoping you get lucky and get a good deal on a living situation. Yeah, I bet you will. Good. But yeah, how's it going, John? How's it going, Alan? Hope you guys have been doing well. Think you'll record every shiny you hatch or encounter by then, just for fun? Yeah, I mean, that makes sense, especially with the Switch. Like, you just hold the record button down and you have the video of it, no matter what. That's still long. Like, it's really long right now, yeah, but it's basically going all away. It's all going away tomorrow. Like, when I say, like, it was like this, I mean, like, this is what was, like, on my head back then. All this is new. Like, it was really way short. So you had even longer hair. No. So I'm getting it cut tomorrow. Like, this is the long hair. Yeah, no, it's like, usually I get it cut really short. Every time we think of the time we get a shiny Milcery, randomly you smile. Hey, that's an awesome one to get, though. Because you can make it in whatever you want. And like you said, it's your favorite. Your country is finally in the green zone. Hey, that's good news. May the 4th be with you. And also with you. Rewatching the old shinies you encounter? Heck yeah. No, it's fun to go back and watch that. I went back a little while ago and watched parts of that first Ralt stream I ever did. Way back, like 2017. The one that, for some reason, YouTube recommends to literally everyone for no reason at all. Yeah, I went back and watched some of that, and that was fun. It was fun. It was fun just seeing and hearing old names. Still haven't evolved your shiny Milcery. You actually need the Star Suite. You got a specific one in mind. I gotcha. I'm a little disappointed, but also relieved to have learned that, like, the Alchemy shinies are limited to just the, like, sweet variants. They don't have, like, the number of spin variants, because that drops the number of alchemies I want to get from, like, 63 to 7, I think. 41st egg, no shiny. It'll happen soon. The best one was Trico, free with that hype. Dude, I mean, that was the first shiny we got on the channel. That was so fun. That was so much fun. So we gotta... Yeah, and that would have been more fun if it hadn't have happened on Twitch, you know? Like, nothing against Twitch, but the circumstances around why that had to happen on Twitch just made it a little bit less hype than I think it could have been. It would have been even more hype, you know? Yeah, Alejandro Balin, welcome to the stream. Remember Atrid795? The name rings a bell. Is that you, Alejandro? Awesome. How have you been? You have 5 males in your team. Shiny Chandelure and Baby Sable Eyes. And the last Baby Sable Eye is female. Nice. To be honest, I don't like the Shiny Alchemy. The black and white gets boring. Since we would like to have it other forms, like the Mint Matcha one, having a shiny form. Having like black chips on it, that'd be kind of cool. Like, that's the thing where I was both disappointed and relieved. It's like, I'm relieved in the sense that I don't have to hunt that many of them now, right? But it is a little bit unfortunate learning that there's only, you know, there's only a few forms of it that are shiny. It's been like 4 years. Yeah, man. How have you been? Yeah, you were here back in the, excuse me, you were here back in the Trico days. So how you been? What's the oldest system I have? Like, oldest game system? I guess probably my original Xbox. As far as ones I own. I've played older ones, but as far as ones that I own. I think it'd be the original Xbox. I own a PlayStation 2, but like also don't really play it a lot. I have 2 GameCubes on my desk, but I don't remember the exact like release date that those came out. But so no matter what, my oldest system is from that generation: the Xbox, the Xbox, the PlayStation 2, and the GameCube are like the oldest ones I own. The 90s sub days, dude. That was way back, man. That was a fun time. That was crazy. Personally, like the Rainbow Swirl Alchemy and the Salted ones. They all look cool to me. I really like the idea of it. I like how there's like different forms based off of how you evolve it and stuff. I like that. It's a little bit, I guess another part of the reason why it's nice with the shiny stuff is it would have been a little bit stressful to hunt for all of those and then mess up the evolution on one. You've been doing well in an esports team right now for Overwatch, dead game, but you like it. Hey, as long as you like it, man. As long as you like it, that's all that matters. So I'm glad that's going well. I hope you're having fun with it. Or yeah, you said you're having fun with it, so yeah, that's awesome. Congratulations on that. I think GameCubes came out either before the GBA or after the GBA. Yeah, my GBA is an SP, so it's a little bit older, or it's a little bit newer in general. So yeah, my Game Boy's not as old as my as the GameCubes for sure. Not professional yet, though. Hey, but as long as you're having fun with it, man. I guess Overwatch 2 is supposed to happen at some point, right? Alchemy's shiny is like Miniors. Yeah, it basically... I'm guessing they show in the PC as their original form, but yeah, then the shiny is just the same across the whole line. So like for Minior, I've actually... considered I've actually hunted the second one. I have 2 shiny Miniors now. One is, one's technically the blue shiny and one's like a green shiny. So, over time I might get all of them just to fill out my decks and have a 1-to-1 match. Because that's one thing that I need to do, is, that's what I've been doing, and the way I kept track of it in Gen 7, in my copy of Pokemon Sun, was I basically built my living decks, my non-shiny living decks, living, like, form decks as well. I had the living form decks, and then I basically put my shinies over 12 boxes exactly in the exact same spot. So when it comes to the Miniors, if I don't hatch all the different, like, forms of Minior, it won't line up in my PC. Calling encounter 133, that'd be awesome. Doing this method where you're hatching 1 row of eggs for a bit until you get a shiny, and then you clear out the other 5 rows of eggs, and you'll release the Rowlet in your team if they're not shiny. Makes sense. Jeff Kaplan, the game director, quit, so did a bunch of devs, so don't know any more about Overwatch 2. Yeah, I mean, it's been well over a year since that was announced at this point, and it seems like from everything I've seen, the like, development stopped on Overwatch, like the main Overwatch, as far as outside of like balancing and stuff, almost in anticipation for Overwatch 2. And then yeah, Overwatch 2 just no one says anything about that anymore. You don't hear anything about that. So yeah, I don't follow it too closely. I have some friends who play Overwatch. They actually got back into it recently. But yeah, so I don't know. It sounds like no one really knows what's going on with that right now. Yeah, I wonder why, I knew about Jeff Kaplan. I had heard he quit and stuff, and I was even shocked, because he was like the Overwatch guy to me. Which I think he kind of was to everyone, so I don't know what happened there. Yo, JT, how's it going, man? How have you been doing? How's school treating you? Have you finished up? Have you finished up for the semester yet? But yeah, so sour apples. Generally mime the pseudomethoding the way I do it. Oh, did the system lock up when I, It did the thing. I think it locks up with soft reset sometimes. Naruto for life, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Welcome to technical difficulties. Just as a father figure to Overwatch players. I mean, he was like the guy who gave all the updates and stuff. Yeah, like the game's like intrinsically linked to him. It's gonna feel different. Sorry about that. That wasn't the capture freezing at all. That was the whole card. That was the whole device freezing. One more week and you'll be back in the streams. All right, JT. Well, best of luck with everything, man. See you later. Best of luck with classes and all that good stuff. If you need any help with anything, absolutely ping me, man. I'm always happy to help. The 420th encounter will be the shiny. Nice. Just saw it change from day to dusk. It's a little bit jarring when that happens sometimes, right? Like, cause that was what we were having with the Ralt stream. We really noticed it there because we were like outside for it. Yeah, so it was very strange with the Ralt stream, like seeing how different the stream was over like a 2-hour period. I think the lighting changed twice, because it went from like day to like dusk, and then or like the sunset into dusk. So that was a little bit jarring, I feel. But we found it, so we're not going to be doing that one for a while. I think the next thing we'll probably do in Oras will be Whismer Horde hunting. Since that's one that's been on my list for a long time. I'm trying to, as part of doing this more diverse stream schedule, I'm trying to kind of rein in some of those SOS hunts that I'd been doing, or just not SOS hunts, but general shiny hunts that I've been doing that I just haven't finished. So if there are any hunts you want to call me out on for not having finished, now's the time to do it. I'll try to plan it for sometime during the streams. Because we got Ralts. We finally finished up Ralts. That was intended to be the second shiny hunt we ever did on the channel. You're going to head out for now, way too distracted with apartment stuff to pay attention to the stream and participate in the chat. Plus, final assignments being doing stuff and stress. Hey, I got you, man. Good night. Yeah, see you later, Wake. Hope you have a good night too, man. Best of luck with all things related to that. And hope to see you again soon. Hope to see you in here tomorrow, even. But yeah, totally get it. Best of luck with all that stuff, man. Alright, we're already almost 140. We've almost done the 70 encounters again that we had started with. Yo, Peter, welcome to the stream. Need to do Manaphy. Oh, that's the one I hoped not to be called out on. Yeah, Manaphy has to happen. Manaphy will probably be a special case. For one, I still need to figure out my capture card situation with that. Just in general, I'm trying to get those capture cards working. They just don't want to play well together. But yeah, Manaphy is on the list. So that's got to happen at some point. But for one, with the amount of stuff that I'm having to work on to get it set up, and just with how not really stream friendly I find Manaphy, especially for myself, potentially that'll be like a experimental like Twitch stream, where it's more so just an extra chill hangout, like I'm effectively shiny hunting and just happen to be streaming, as opposed to like sitting here intentionally streaming and doing all this extra stuff. Like the whole point of that will just be I'm hunting Manaphy. I could be chatting with some friends at Discord, I could be doing whatever, like it'll just be like extra chill, because in that case, like I won't be as aware as much as generally, like, everyone's like, don't focus on the numbers, don't focus on the numbers. The numbers are, like, on YouTube and stuff, like, the numbers just intrinsically come up on your mind. Like, there's no way to avoid it. Manaphy doesn't do numbers at all. It gets extremely boring to watch from everything I've seen, and from doing it, I just experience it that way. Like, there's nothing for a while, and then there's 10 encounters, and then there's nothing for a while. So, I need to rework my method for it, as well as probably just experiment with it and do it that way. You phase twice a day on your Manaphy hunt, both Bidoof. Oh no! I was gonna ask, like, how'd you phase? But yeah, you have to catch, like, a Pokemon for every egg you hatch. Dang, dude. 2 Bidoofs. Yo, Philip, welcome to the stream. What am I playing Ultra Moon on? I am playing it on my 3DS capture card. I've got, I guess now, kind of a valuable rare item. A Katsukity new 2DS XL capture card. So I'm using that to do the capture. Yeah, since both the 3DS and Katsukity don't exist anymore for you to buy new versions of. It's like double rare. So yeah, that's what I'm playing it on. Yeah, so no emulators or anything for me. It's fully, like, official hardware outside of the capture circuitry in it. Yeah, it's basically I want it to always be, like, I always want to do my hunts on, like, legitimate cartridges, legitimate hardware. No even questions of cheating being possible, right? Not quite. By having a third game, you can trade eggs for eggs to get extra Manaphy encounters quicker. Ooh, good point. Yeah, I'll have to think about that and see. Really, for me, the biggest thing for making Manaphy more viable to stream is increasing the amount of time on camera we are hatching. One of the ways to do that is to trade, or to have like 2 full setups going, like 4 capture cards, 5 eggs on each. You just do 5 trades and then you hatch, 5 trades and then you hatch. So it might not be more like dense per se, like in terms of, or like percentage of like time hatching versus time like trading, but there is less time spent trading because you're only doing 5 trades as opposed to like 10 that I have to do now. Mix in something like that, yeah. If you have like an extra system that all the eggs can go in and try on, that'd be nice. 3DS cap card squad, yee. Yeah, I want to get another one. One, so I can do stuff like Manaphy more easily, and 2, to have a backup. Like, as much as obviously it makes sense, and it is not surprising that we are to a point where the 3DS is no longer being manufactured in any form of its family of devices. It makes sense that we're to that point, but man, I still use it. I still rely on one. Wishing chips existed before Pokemon Sword and Shield release? How so? Only need to catch 5 fodder per 8 eggs you hatch. That's actually really nice. Yeah, so that'd be good. So you reduce that time, you reduce the trading time. Or at least, like, if you don't reduce the trading time per hatch, you reduce the trading time between hatches, is the biggest thing. I want to be constantly encountering. That's the one thing I'd want to do to make it a viable, like, YouTube stream. Would be more time spent hatching. Or maybe not even necessarily hatching, but, like, seeing the Pokemon come out of the egg. That's, like, the biggest part of it. Yo, Noah, welcome to the stream. How are you doing today? Hope you're doing well. So yeah, I'll need to sit down and really think about that with Manaphy, because I was thinking about it mostly from a cost-effective perspective, and I was very excited to have managed to effectively get all of my eggs for 20 bucks. GameStop's probably not happy with me for having done that, but I bought enough of their stock that I think I made up for it. Can you play Ultramoon on the Nintendo Switch? You cannot, no. There's no way to put a 3DS cartridge in the Switch, so you cannot do that, unfortunately. It'd be nice if you could. It'd be nice if the devices were backwards compatible still, but the Switch only having one screen and being on a TV and stuff really breaks compatibility with 3DS games. Using 3 DS systems, one's playing the start, one's hatching, and the last one trades extra eggs to keep a game hatching. Nice. Yeah, that's actually really nice. Having some kind of buffer game, I guess, in there works. Like, I imagine the best system, the best setup that doesn't get, like, ridiculous to the point where it's literally impossible to manage, and even this is already to the point it's probably legitimately impossible to properly manage, would be 5. 2 sets running, and then the extra buffer one that can be constantly doing the trades and also hatching a little bit. Yo, Blueberries, welcome to the stream. You got this. Hope you get a fast and easy hunt. Thank you. I'd really love to have a fast hunt today. Full odds, best odds. Loki won another cap card, although he'd be content with just on a regular DS one. Yeah. I mean, honestly, getting hands on any cap cards you can right now is probably like a smart move. They're still pricey. They're just gonna get more pricey, and they're gonna get more broken. That's just what it's gonna be, right? Like. These devices, no offense to Loopy or Katsukitty or anyone who makes capture cards, they're not official Nintendo devices. They cannot ensure that they will last forever. You can't even ensure that the Nintendo device that it is inside will last forever. So, like, over time, they'll go away, just like normal 3DSs will die and all that stuff. So, I'm just hoping that they hold out long enough. What were you asking? You can play Ultramoon on Nintendo Switch? Not legitimately, as far as I'm aware. I mean, yeah, not legitimately at all. I'm aware that it's not possible to do legitimately. Yeah, so having a 5th... Basically doing what you're doing, Peter, but having a 5th system, or like 2 more systems, another set of systems running the hatch, probably would be the best. Because then, for me, especially with 10 eggs, it would let me get down to doing 5 eggs per save, or per trade, which I think that was kind of my mistake, is going to 10 eggs immediately, because, hey, that's pretty efficient. It gives you an extra set. Make sure you're, like, you have a longer hatching period each time, but, like, you're playing that time anyways. So yeah, just avoiding the double trade, I think, would be really good and really important. But it's probably a long ways off because, in general, I think no matter how I go about it, I need to get at least one more DS or 3DS capture card to make it work. Even then, I'm actually kind of concerned because part of the problem, or I know that the problem I'm having is a driver issue related to both capture cards wanting the same kind of driver and telling the system the same kind of device, but they're a little bit different. They're expecting different versions of the driver, something like that. Something is just wrong in terms of the communication there. So I'm trying... So my concern would be that if I have a Katsukity card and a Loopy card that are both 3DS cards, they're effectively built off the same chip, but they might be a little different. And I'm concerned that that would be the same problem again, just now with 3 capture cards instead of 2. So it's a process. I'm working through it. But for now, our big and exciting and convoluted hunt is Jirachi. That's going to be the case. I think we're going to leave it at Jirachi for now. After Jirachi, I think I'm going to buy myself time on Manaphy. In the same way that we have this list of legendary hunts going, I'm going to hunt for Jirachi, I'm going to hunt for Celebi, and then we'll hunt for Manaphy. So, I think we'll have like a mythical day of the week that is either going to be Jirachi or Celebi. Celebi, I still have a lot of prep to do. I have to finish Crystal on my capture card. I own Crystal on this capture card. I have played a large chunk of it. Then internships happened, and then school happened, and then a whole bunch of stuff happened, and then I didn't stream for a year. So I just never started that. But I do own Crystal Virtual Console to hunt Celebi specifically. I want to hunt Celebi. And honestly, I kind of think now might be a better time to hunt Celebi than when I was going to. Because I was a little late to the game then, but now it's far enough out that it's not like, oh, everyone already hunted that. It's like, oh, hey, someone's still doing this. Yo, Vanillix, welcome to the stream, man. You lost power for a while, but you're still here. Still no power, though. Well, hey, man, hope you're safe. Hope you're staying safe. I know the storms have been crazy for, like, everyone this past, like, week. For, like, the past couple days. It's insane. We've been under tornado watches, severe thunderstorm warnings, flash flood warnings. It's crazy. You can only do 4 eggs per trade. Would recommend going to 12. But you can do 5 per hatch. That's the thing. You can do 5 per hatch, so you do 2 hatches. I got 10 eggs. There was a video I saw, I think it was a Shiny Hunter 98, I think is his name. It's been a while. Shiny Collector 98, I believe. I had a video basically of how to set up Manaphy, what to do, and I was like, okay, cool, and I followed that. And then I just used my own method of kind of gaming GameStop's return policy. And I got my eggs for like a total of 20 bucks. And the 20 bucks was only because I wanted to keep a copy of Ranger. No matter which way you look at it, Manaphy is way easier than Jirachi. Oh, for sure. For sure. I think the only thing Jirachi has on Manaphy, I guess it has 2 things on Manaphy. Time per encounter, I think, is faster. I think. Or no, never mind, scratch that. Yeah. Manaphy is faster. Jirachi... From a streamer perspective, Jirachi is better. I think that is hands down. Admittedly, Jirachi is more expensive to do, given the current prices of items. It is rarer to find the items for it. It is arguably a bit harder to stream depending on your setup. You need a Game Boy. If you want to stream it, you either need to have some kind of DS capture card, which you need a Game Boy or a GameCube. You need the, like, fairly rare and expensive Coliseum disc. It is a little bit slower to encounter than Manaphy, but from a streamer perspective, I see a Jirachi encounter every 7 minutes. With Manaphy, I wouldn't see an encounter for an hour. I would see 10 immediately, but I wouldn't see an encounter. I would see those 10, and then I wouldn't see anything else for another hour. And that, as a streamer, I don't like that. So if I could, basically what I would want to do is I want to basically, at least every 10 minutes, I think is my, like, mental number so far from experience. 10 minutes is the, like, slowest. Every 1 for 10 minutes, or like 10 minutes is the longest dry spell I want to have between encounters on stream. Jirachi, we have managed to get inside that. As soon as I got it inside it, it was honestly a more enjoyable stream. It seemed like people were sticking around more. That's just, from my perspective, what I'm trying to do is I don't want to bore you guys for an hour and then go, here's the 10 encounters. So that's the thing there. But yeah, I think from a hunting perspective, Manaphy's better, or easier. Jirachi, I think, just has the leg up when you start to look at it from a streaming perspective, I think. Going to the PC will cause you to lose egg cycles more often, and stop you from being able to... You're averaging 8 for 30 minutes. Yeah, so I think just because I use 10, it takes a little bit longer. But yeah, you're right. That's also the concern with those Manaphy eggs, is they slowly get used up. Eventually the Manaphys hatch before you can send them through. So yeah, I gotta figure out. It's fairly early on. I only did like 200 encounters total, I think. I don't actually even know how many I did. I didn't do all that many. I stopped pretty quickly because people seemed bored with it. I was fairly bored with it. It'll come back. It'll come back at some point, but I do want to prep for it better. I was honestly, it's just I was woefully ill-prepared for it, I think, is really what happened. Did anyone get those crazy storms last night? We've just been having storms, like, all day and all yesterday. Definitely not that much outside that, yeah. Yeah, so I mean, that's just where I need to... As someone who's streaming it, I also have to make sure I have the... Not only do I have the devices to hunt, I have to have the devices that can hunt, that can capture the hunt. So that's something to consider, and something I need to kind of figure out a bit more. You want to hunt Celebi so bad, but your crystal file is currently occupied. That and you have a backlog to clear after getting Lugia anyway. You can just move Celebi to the front of that. Yeah, so you're right. You're right about the about doing not 10 eggs. Also, I feel like I want to say I traded more than 4? No, you're right, yeah, because you have to have, like... You can't just have one Pokemon in your party. You have to have 2 Pokemon in your party to trade an egg, which is really frustrating. I understand that that was their check to ensure that you didn't trade away, like, your last usable Pokemon, but... That was unfortunate. That is an unfortunate thing. So yeah, honestly, it'd probably be better just to drop it to 8 at that point. Celebi and Crystal got them high odds. I mean, yeah, 1 in 80, 192. I mean, we do hunts like that on occasion. That was the first hunt we ever did, was Trico at those odds. It'd be cool to get a shiny in every gen that, like, is viably shiny huntable. I know that you can hunt in Gen 1, but, like, you can kind of hunt in Gen 1. You need 2 non-egg Pokemon, yeah. It's been so long since I did it that I kind of forgot that, but yeah. I remember being surprised and frustrated by that. Yeah, so... I'm gonna need to rethink that hunt, make sure I'm doing everything as safe and as efficiently as possible before I do it on stream again. Because I don't want to mess that up. I don't want to mess it up. I don't want to lose the eggs. I don't want it to be boring. I want to enjoy it, right? Like I want to enjoy it. I want you to enjoy it. And I want Manaphy too. That's a big part of it. I do want Manaphy. It's not like I'm like tiptoeing around it because I don't like Manaphy or anything. I want it. I want to be one of the people who's found Manaphy on stream. That would be incredible. It's just gonna take some time, right? Trico was a really fun hunt to watch. That's when you first started watching. Awesome, yeah. Yeah, Trico was a fun one to do. That was my first ever hunt on stream. I want to do Torchic. Torchic's one on my list to do. We might just do that at some point, because we have the Ruby save set up. We have a Ruby cartridge that we can use. We just gotta stream just that and not stream the bonus disc as well, right? So that'd be fun. Since you can mill the eggs first, egg hatch doesn't have to take that long. Oh, like as far as you can, by mill the eggs, you mean like walk them around for a bit? Trico was something else. Trico was an incredible experience on stream. Just the hunt itself, having the community form fully around that one singular hunt was insane. The fact that honestly, for like 3 months, I did nothing but hunt for one Pokemon, and we had 900 people, 950 people in the streams, or not in the streams, but like 900 people subscribed to the channel. We had 90 people in a single stream, like all around one Trico. That was incredible. I would love to have a moment like that again. I don't know if it would ever happen, but it would be really cool to have that. You took 1900 steps off them first. Gotcha. Whole community grew around Trico. That's crazy, right? Yeah. And it grew ridiculously fast. I will say, I think I was spoiled effectively in terms of how the community grew. I mean, people were asking me like, "How have you grown this?" I was like, "I have no clue. I have no clue how this has happened." I got lucky. I got picked by YouTube to be like the golden child for like small time Pokemon streamers for like a solid 3 months, and then I asked them for money, and they said no, you're banned. Fortunately, we're back, but yeah, that was a very quick dip in momentum. It's interesting going back and looking at subscriber counts like in the growth from back then. It's insane, like how almost vertical it is for a bit, and then it just flattened out for years. Yo, Pika Hype, welcome to the stream. You're shiny hunting for Zora, and it's 684 resets. Dang. Best of luck with that, man. I'm very spoiled. Oh yeah, for sure. Like that's kind of the thing, right? Like, it's great that I had that. I absolutely appreciate that experience and that opportunity I had with it, right? Of like having 70 people in a stream. Having a stream that went from 30 people, which for a while, honestly, and like, again, don't look at the numbers is always something you can say, or don't let the numbers get to you, don't focus on the numbers. Like, yeah, you're gonna focus on the numbers. There was a while where I was like, man, I'm only getting 24 concurrents. Like, there was a point where I was like, kind of sad that I was like, I had stagnated at 24 concurrents for like 3 streams in a row. Like, God forbid I don't get like a 10% boost in my like concurrents every stream, right? Like, it was ridiculous. It was stupid. Like, looking at it now, I was like spoiled completely. But that's what it had been. Like, I was gaining at least like 15 new subs every day. It was crazy. It was crazy. I don't know why my stuff got recommended the way it did, but it just blew up. But yeah, so like, I always think that it kind of put like a weird perspective on the streaming for me and like numbers. Because again, don't look at numbers, but like, you're going to. You want the streams to do well, you want them to do better, you want to reach more people. But like, to have started out, and by stream number 4 that I did, I didn't have numbers dip below like double-digit concurrents. I don't know why. I have no clue why. But that's like that changes your perspective on what those numbers mean, right? Like, looking at it now and going, we have, depending on which number I look at, we have 6 concurrents right now, which, not bad. That's pretty normal now. And I love having you guys here at small-time conversations like this. Capped around 30 a lot of the time. Yeah, I mean, and that wasn't even for long. We blew past 30 as a cap pretty quickly. But, like, for me, you know, what had happened is, like, you know, we're sitting here. We've peaked, I think, 10 concurrents today, which isn't bad. Normally, you know, normal streams kind of sit anywhere between like 10 and 15 concurrents on here a lot now, which is fine. But it's like, to have that be, especially like after the dip happened, where it was like back down to numbers that were normal for someone with 900 subs, of, you know, like 5 to 10 people concurrently, like to have that be where it dipped back down to, was effectively just back down to the correct number, right? Like, it wasn't like a low number, it was just the correct number. It felt like something had gone wrong, you know? So it put an unhealthy, like, expectation and perspective on what, like, the stream numbers should be. So it was very strange. It was very strange to basically be in this, like, hyper-inflated state of, like, audience and everything, and have it normalize and be like, whoa, 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 what is this? This is wrong. You know? The monkey brain doesn't like numbers that are smaller than the numbers from yesterday, you know? So that's what it was at. Yeah, Sofry's hitting for Zora. What game are you doing that in? Is there a game you can do that in? I just kind of read resets as encounters. Until this happened, the rip. Yeah, I mean my internet crapping out never was a problem. I was having internet issues during the time that I like peaked in concurrence. Yo, Donuts, welcome to the stream. How are you doing today? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, like the internet, honestly, the internet crapping out was more of an issue later on. For one, just in general, like it didn't crap out as much early on, but it got bad. It got bad fast. You know, by like that January, like I just literally had to go stream from someone else's house because like it didn't work in my apartment. It was ridiculous. Didn't we lose some viewership from that though? From the internet? I mean some, but nothing crazy. I mean, at that point, we were talking like, if we had like a really bad day, then I like eventually would end the stream because of, it was a problem. But that was more of an issue of just like, understandably, people don't want to watch if like, if the stream's gone. Like, I don't watch streams that are laggy messes. Like, it's not fun. It's not fun for anyone because the thing is, even when it does come back, the streamer is now in a sour mood because their internet crapped out and all that. So, yeah, that's what happens. But yeah, the week off was honestly the biggest problem, right? Like, the week off that was, like, the channel disappearing was more of an issue than anything. At least you have decent enough internet now so you don't have to worry about the random cuts. Yeah. If they happen, it's some weird other fluke. Like, we've had problems with the internet, but it hasn't been anything out of the ordinary, right? Like, generally what's extra frustrating is it's just my connection to YouTube. Like, the rest of my internet's fine, and then it's like a YouTube problem. Which has happened. I know Puffins had to stream on Twitch a couple times just because of YouTube kind of crapping itself. Man, we're already almost to 200 encounters. That's kind of crazy. Bad problems with keeping consistent frames. Yeah. I mean, because you can have issues with frame drop and frame problems because of your computer, and you can have issues because of, like, the internet. Like, most of the problems we've had, I think, has been, like, the connection between OBS and YouTube servers, like their ingest servers, more than anything. Because, like, now the issues have been such weird issues when I've had them. Like, because in the past, like, 4 months of me being back streaming, I've had a couple problems, but they haven't been anything, like, insane. Yeah, to make sure in my head that, yeah, it's been 4 months. We've been back for about 4 months, which is awesome. But yeah, like, most of my problems now have been, like, ones that I'm, like, scratching my head looking at OBS going, I don't know why you're having an issue. Like, OBS is to the point where it's, like, either I have no problems, or the problems are so bad that OBS breaks. Yo, Brandon, welcome to the stream. How are you doing today? Twitch is honestly a good platform to stream on. It's just hard to grow on it. Yeah, I mean, I think it's been a topic of conversation for me the past couple days, just this past like week basically. Like, Twitch is a great platform if you already have an audience. It's, I think, really hard to break out on Twitch. Like, it's almost that thing where one of the smart moves would be start on YouTube and roll the dice that you get picked up and noticed. Basically, if you're gonna start streaming on YouTube and do something that I don't do and make like normal videos, I want to make normal videos, but I'm try to make them too perfect. I like scare myself out of it. Like all this mess that's been on this back counter the past like couple of weeks has been me trying to make a video that's like, oh, I'll be able to put that out next weekend. I haven't ever gotten to a point where I feel satisfied with like what I'd be making the video to actually make it. I just need to get over that and do it. That was my problem with live streaming for like a year and a half before I actually started in 2017. But like, if you can get a base on YouTube that you have enough people that you know will move with you to Twitch, that's the move to make, honestly. Because for one, you diversify yourself then, right? Like, you diversify your platforms. If something happens on YouTube like it did to me, you're set. You've still got Twitch. You can keep going there. People know to look for you. If something happens on Twitch, you still got YouTube to fall back on, right? Like, if you're brave enough for it, go to Facebook Gaming. I am not. Like, just do something. Just mix it up. I think, like, Twitch is a great... Because that's the thing, the way Twitch organizes stuff, if you're at the top, you'll stay at the top. You'll keep getting promoted. If you're playing a game that people like, let's say you are playing Pokemon, and a new game gets announced, or something else just comes out, and it's, like, something that people want to see, or gets popular again for some reason, like, people tune in suddenly. And if you're already having a consistent viewer base that puts you, like, at the first row of suggestions when someone clicks on Pokemon on Twitch, boom, numbers to the roof. But if you're at the bottom, you're at the bottom. No one's going to scroll down that far to see you unless they're specifically looking for a small streamer. That's just how it is. I don't think it's right or wrong how Twitch does it, you know? I don't think there's a right or wrong way to do it. It's just different. That's why a lot of people recommend to grow on YouTube and then move to Twitch for streaming. You already have an audience, then it'll build from there. Yeah, Facebook gaming does not hit very high concurrent. But if you have an audience, Facebook gaming is desperate to have people on there to try to get higher concurrence. That's the thing, right? Where you gotta know the platform. You gotta know what the numbers are for the platform. You gotta know what, like, engagement each platform gives. One of the biggest things I will say right now that I've been trying to figure out is how to make it where people see my streams more often, in terms of, like, YouTube here's as much information I can give you about this stream, so it'll show up for people. I know we've had people come in because I updated the description on Jirachi. I updated the description on Jirachi. Suddenly, if you search Shiny Hunt and I'm doing a Jirachi hunt, it's one of the top things on that list in the live category. And I know I added in, like, a description of how the hunt worked, and, like, Flinny showed up because it suddenly was talking about Game Boy players, and he was looking for Game Boy player stuff. Like, you gotta figure that out. And a big thing is audience, like, interaction and engagement. Like, as far as getting a chat rate high, getting that kind of stuff. That's what I want to try to do. I want to find, like, fun, like, games to do in chat and stuff that kind of keep that number up, right? That's something I want to do. Because that one's not even so much for the like, growth side of it. It's like, I want to talk with you guys. I want you guys in chat talking more. Just so it feels a little bit less like I'm just talking to the camera. Twitch is full of, oh yeah, all that stuff. I mean, yeah. I don't think that changes their system. That's just people who figured out a loophole and are taking full advantage of it. More power to them, in my opinion. Yeah, more power to them, but at the same time, I wouldn't be, like, upset if Twitch changed their terms of service to, like, properly get rid of the thing, because that's the thing, right? Like, I think it's more on Twitch here for letting it go on at all. Like, they're the ones who try to set their terms of service up in a way where it's like, oh, you gotta be doing this, but, like, they wanted to add leeway in case, like, yeah, you're at the beach or something, like, yeah, of course you're gonna have that happen if you're doing, like, an IRL stream and, like, you're at a water park or you're at a pool or you're at a beach, like, yeah. And of course people found the loophole. Well, yeah, they're gonna do that. So it's on Twitch to close it if they want to close it. In that case. Yo, how's it going, Juan? Welcome to the stream, man. Hell, you beautiful people. Sorry for tuning in late. Been playing Persona 5 Strikers. You enjoying it? I mean, yeah, let's be real. Talking about platforms. All platforms have their problems. They have their upsides, their downsides. Like, Twitch, in my opinion, is one of the best for interacting with your current audience. I think that's kind of the thing, right? Like, Twitch is great for having an established audience and interacting with them. Twitch has the built-in rating features, the hosting features, gifting subs, replying to messages. Like, the chat is just so much better on Twitch. If you go into a big YouTube stream that's, like, got ridiculous chat rates, it kills your CPU. On YouTube. I don't know if I said on Twitch or on YouTube, but on YouTube, like on YouTube live streams, sometimes your computer can just completely, like, freak out because the YouTube chat's going too fast. It's effectively a live comment section, which, I mean, yeah, that's what I think YouTube envisions their chat as, is we have comments. Well, here's the comments for these points in this live stream. But Twitch views it way more as a community and more interactive in that way, right? Like, it's easier for a streamer to see information about the chatter. It's easier for chatters to do stuff. It's easier to keep, like, leaderboards and fun things like that, like interactive stuff. Hey, how's it going, Grenji? Welcome to the stream, man. How have you been doing today? Twitch is a super fun platform to be on. Yeah, I need to do more Twitch streams. I want to do some that are just more like casual. If I have like time to at points, because that's kind of the thing, right? Like, I work all day, then I stream, and then I'm like relaxing for the rest of the night. So it's like I need to find some stuff I'll do that's just like relaxing on Twitch, you know? More than enjoying it, it's amazingly fun with the story. Hey, that's great. Glad to hear it, man. For the monetary gain side of things, YouTube is far better. You start with a 70-30 cut. Twitch apparently is far worse, and only a handful of streamers have that 70-30 cut. That's fair. That's a fair point. I think the counter argument there is the culture in Twitch chat is more towards those donations, right? Like, because also I think you're talking in terms of that cut, you're talking about like super chats versus bits, which are quite different. For one, I think bits are weird because it differs depending on if you're doing it on mobile or if you're doing it on PC. One of the things you'll see more on Twitch is the Streamlabs direct to PayPal donations still exist in a significant form. Twitch is trying to do it, and like bits are in there, but like Twitch has done it in a way where bits and stream points and all these things can be used for things that feel very separate from a donation, where on YouTube, super chats are the donation, right? Like I feel like you've seen it way less and less, especially for creators who are to the point where they can activate super chats. Once you can activate super chats, it's kind of expected that that's what you use on YouTube. So there's almost an inherent, it's almost guaranteed that like a donation going to a YouTuber through a live stream is going through super chats, going through YouTube. YouTube's taking that cut. Where Streamlabs, which is where like on Twitch, you'll have bits and you'll have these other donations, but you still very regularly on Twitch see the Streamlabs type donation come through, which is PayPal takes a much more negligible cut. It's not negligible, especially with smaller amounts, but takes a much smaller cut. But that's the thing with Twitch, is not all of the money on Twitch goes through YouTube, right? We gotta stream Among Us sometime? Maybe. Are we gonna do the Super Mario Party stream one day? They finally that game's like 2 years old and they finally added the internet support to it. Like, what the heck? I honestly thought that game was dead. Like, not even like the, oh, that's a dead game, like, kind of meme. Like, the developers had abandoned that game for sure, right? Like, they had the perfect chance to be like, we're gonna make Mario Party work over the internet, and they didn't. And then a year later, they come back and do it. Like I feel like, honestly, if there was a dead game out there, it was Mario Party. It was Super Mario Party. But they did this. They brought it back, kind of. Is full-on online still a thing, or is it just like more mini-game support? I forget what it is. Or was that the whole problem? Was that online was only mini-games and there was no like proper full boards to play online? That could be fun. I think the risk with a stream like that is not having enough people who want to play like the whole time. Kind of the situation with Dynamax Adventures too, right? Like, you're waiting there the whole time for someone to actually show up and play it, you know? That's something that's a lot of fun when you have a slightly larger audience, right? Like, where you have enough people that you're always going to have someone in, but you're not going to have someone who's never gets in. You want to play it with friends, but you'll still have fun with the CPU. I played it like twice, and I tried to get my friends to play it, and they quit halfway through because they got bored. I'd never played a Mario Party before that, though, so like I had no expectations to disappoint. You can play actual Mario Party online now with boards, and also play every minigame instead of a select few. Okay, because I saw the minigame thing got added, and I was like, I thought that's what they had, but maybe they didn't have anything, and now they added minigames. But yeah, they only let a few minigames. That's so strange. Like, what the heck? Why is Nintendo so incredibly bad at online? Like, we know the answer is that they're dinosaurs in terms of, like, they're dinosaurs in terms of this kind of stuff, in terms of video games. But, like, how are they just that bad at it? Like, some of the really cool things are online things, but even then they're really basic. Like, things like Luigi's Balloon World and Odyssey Like, I mean, that's kind of neat. And, like, honestly, some of Nintendo's best online multiplayer stuff is in games that, like, you look at the main game and go, yeah, I mean, that wouldn't work in online multiplayer. So it's like, it's cool they came up with something creative to put in. But then they take that mentality to games like Mario Party. It's like, just make the whole game work online. It's a multiplayer game that is not ridiculously time sensitive. It's perfect for online. I think they're testing their new system with the update. Like their new online stuff. That'd be nice. I mean, honestly, they just need to put some more effort into online. It'd be great to see. It'd be great to see a lot more online stuff come out of Nintendo. On the N64, you got 100% of the game. You 100% of the game and still have fun. You're gonna 100% the Super on the Switch too. Nice. Yeah, I played a couple rounds. I didn't get super into it. Because while I say I didn't have expectations, I had watched, like, Mario Party, like, Let's Plays, like, from the older Mario Parties. I'm like, oh, those look really fun. But even then, it's a lot of fun to watch, like, one game of it, right? Like, I feel like it's hard to stay super into that. Monster Hunter Rise is the first game to be using the new system. What is the new system you're talking about, though? Because I haven't heard anything with that. And, like, the new system sounds like a really vague term. Like, almost intentionally vague, right? Like, is it a new online thing? Like, the way they're handling the online? So I know Monster Hunter Rise, like, people have said the internet connectivity on it's actually really good. But I feel like that comes down to the... Usually that comes down to the game. But I guess in a lot of cases it comes down to the game because, like, Xbox Live or PlayStation Network, like, are actually built properly, so you don't run into issues regularly with just the inherent infrastructure of the system. The new online system they're using, they finally ditched the old one. That's good, because the old one was a non-existent one. If you're being honest and you look at it, it's just a peer-to-peer connection, which is the laziest of systems. A lot of times it can work, but it also can be stupid. Look at Mario Tennis. You know how there's literally an issue with every single match you played? It was because it was a direct connection to the other Switch. There was no server to say what was the final end-all be-all connection. Play Mario Party 1, 50 turns, let's see how long you last. I'd be down for it, possibly. So my nose got itchy. Good lord, Mario Tennis Online sucked. Dude, like, the demo they had? Yeah, that was terrible. I owned the full game. I never played the online in the full game, because it wasn't worth it. But I tried, the online with the demo, and just, yeah. Because it's peer-to-peer, so the problem is, your connection is only as good as the worst of you two. It's the best your connection can be, is whichever one of you is the worst. It's a direct connection. Basically, all you did is say, like, go to the Mario Tennis server and go, hello, I am looking for a game. And it paired you with someone else who said, hello, I'm looking for a game. And then they pointed you at each other, and the entire Mario Tennis system was out of the equation until you finished your match and sent back the score. Yeah, like, that's the whole system. So that's why you ended up in that situation where it was trying... It's one of the ways that you can handle lag like that. It's one of the ways to mitigate lag is to slow down time to the bit rate of how fast you can send that data, but it's terrible. That is a terrible design. But they do it because there's no way to determine who's right? Like, you don't want someone to be able to lag switch. Which hasn't been a thing for most consoles in years. But it was for the Switch, because their system's so old. Like, if you have a central server and someone lags out, you can make them buffer. And, the person with a good connection can keep playing like normal. Yeah, all that lag. Dude, Mario Maker has that problem still, right? Mario Maker 2? I don't think they ever fixed that. 50 turns is like half a day. Not if you play fast enough. You just gotta be really good or really bad. 50 turn 4 player. Do it. Sorta, it's not as bad. Yeah, I mean, I know it's not as bad as Mario Tennis was, but I know... At least back when, like, Ryukar was still playing online multiplayer with Mario Maker, it was pretty laggy for him. I never played it, I never got into that. I played a couple rounds, I'll say that, but I didn't really get into it. But yeah, because that was the same kind of situation, right? Like, where all 4 systems are trying to talk to each other, and one's taking a while to send its inputs through to you, so it would slow down to wait for that input, right? Like, it would freeze everyone for that. 3D World has online and it's actually pretty good. Yeah, honestly, in certain ways, you could absolutely argue that in certain ways, the Switch Online was a step backwards from the Wii U Online a little bit, but a lot of that probably comes down to there were so few people playing on a Wii U that it didn't matter. But Switch Online really stood out as bad because, I mean, the console came out in 2017. It was a massive hit, so you have all these people in 2017 seeing a console have, like, a 2006 level internet connection, right? Like, it was terrible. It was a terrible impression for the Switch to make. But it seems like it's all kind of getting sorted out if they have a new system for it, which is good. Which is good news. All right, guys, get the crab emotes ready. It's time. The Wii U had a great line online, even though it was a garbage old system they used, but it didn't matter. I mean, yeah, there were just so few people with them. Sorry, my nose is like incredibly itchy. But there were so few people with them. I don't think any of the online was as serious as other ones. Like, the Switch is a big enough audience that people who care about online have it. People who bought a Wii U because they wanted to play certain single-player games. That's how Nintendo consoles, like, succeed, right? Can call Windows 98. What do you mean? Nothing will ever be as kind of terrible of an online problem as Sword and Shield releasing and bricking Roku's. That was a funny one. There we go, we got crab emotes, heck yeah. I guess there's probably been worse online things, but like, that was a pretty horrific problem to have of Pokemon Sword and Shield breaking Roku boxes. Like, imagine screwing over another tech company on total accident. If you do play with 3 other friends, make sure you win because your friendship is over and leave with at least a win. Good point. It's like Monopoly, right? Like, the relationship's done, but if you got the W, it doesn't matter. The old online system they used apparently had a command to check for Windows 98. Wow. I mean, here's the thing though, here's the thing. That's not actually really a sign. Like, gut reaction, wow, that's really old. That's actually, like, not necessarily a, like, a sign that it's like a relic of the past. That is a sign that Windows 98 does something really funky that is worth just, at the core of your network code, making sure you're not on that. Or if you are on that, make sure you're prepared. It's kind of like, it's like how Windows 10 exists largely because they couldn't name it Windows 9. They couldn't make a Windows version 9 dot whatever, because they had to make sure legacy software still worked, and some software checked for Windows 98 with a, by checking if the first letter of the, or the first number of the version was a 9. Because presumably at the time they thought it would go Windows 2000 and then like 2003 and then 2005. You know, they thought it would go like that. I forgot how calming it is to lurk in streams while you do homework. Hey, I'm glad the stream can be a cool, chill place. Nintendo runs on Windows 98. That might be a little bit too powerful for them. They're probably on MS-DOS. It's just odd, though. I mean, yeah, it's an odd thing to hear. It's an odd thing to hear, and like without knowing what the kind of situation is around it, it can be strange, and you wonder why it happens that way. But that's something where it's a single code check. It's a single line of code check. It's worth leaving in. Obviously, it's not going to happen, but it's not worth the time to take out. And even if it's obvious it won't happen, what if it does happen? What if something does happen? Obviously, something went wrong, and you want to catch it. You're back. Welcome back, Goldie. Hope you're doing well still. Alright, we're probably going to get to like 300 encounters, yeah. Which I think is kind of the number I said. Good to know I'm still, I still got it when it comes to estimating hunts. And then tomorrow we'll be doing Jirachi. That'll be fun. Apparently the new online system's really good. Finally catching up. Finally. I mean, even then, like, that's the thing, right? Like, I think a lot of the praise their online system is getting is like, wow, it's usable. Because, yeah, I have heard Rise, like, works really well, and people were impressed that they had very little lag with, like, you know, international games and stuff. That means, yep, it means the crab rave has happened, Goldie. Vanillix was the only one here to do the emotes. The crabs were lonely. But yeah, no, it's good to see Nintendo actually like put together a solid online system. If they're actually embracing online finally. And if they have a proper online system in place, I wonder what they'll do with their games. Felt alone. So sad. Just realized that the paper you're using for your color drawing from the other day is actually bad because the tooth of the paper can't grip the colors. Really? I would have never thought that. Like, it makes sense, I guess. You have to consider the paper texture. But I didn't really think that it would make that much of a difference. Hey, we got crabs. Online was what people complained about Nintendo for the most of the time. I mean, yeah, but that's the thing. Nintendo, like, when everyone was like, Nintendo, your online is bad, they're like, yeah, we don't want to put effort into it because you're all going to forget about it. And then they were horrifically wrong. Hey, Silent Fox, welcome to the stream. How's the hunt going? It's going well. Hope your day's been going well, too. You sent tons of crabs? I didn't see any of them. It's that stupid thing where YouTube blocks messages without telling me. Like the crabs and stuff I'll let through. I don't know why they block them like that. That's another thing. If YouTube like blocks emote spam like that, then they're never gonna like have the same chat as Twitch. What the heck? We never forget. Yeah, but Nintendo, like, their online system's terrible, but like they have some of the worst decisions in video gaming, but they offset it by having the best. Like, that's the thing, right? Like, Nintendo absolutely is a company that like suffers from having no hindsight, I feel. Like, if it's not in the immediate, they don't care about it, it seems. Look at, you know, the Wii U flopped hard, but it's because they got complacent after the Wii. Which means they forgot the GameCube didn't do well, right? Like, they're just totally focused on, we're doing well now, we're fine. And then they flop, and then they panic, and they do really well. When they put their mind to it, Nintendo can make some of the best like stuff. They made the Switch, they made the Wii, they made Breath of the Wild, They made Mario Odyssey, but they made Breath of the Wild, they made the Switch, they made Mario Odyssey. Then they get complacent again, and you see Switch Online is terrible. You see Super Mario Party not get support after like a year. You know, you see Mario Maker 2 drop costumes and all this stuff, and like hit end of life already. Like, they do incredibly confusing things just because. But it's like they have no hindsight. They get extremely complacent extremely quickly. Yo, Goose Doodles, welcome to the stream. How am I doing today? I'm doing well. How are you doing? Thanks for asking. Oh yeah. Yeah, and you're paying for that online too. Yeah. Even though it's like it's a relatively cheap online, it's still like, come on guys. We're getting a good number of encounters in here. We'll definitely do, yeah, over the 200. We'll probably get to around 250 for the day. They went back on their word, which is a bad decision in general. Oh, of course it is. The internet never forgets. Yeah, the internet never forgets. If you say something once, it's permanently out there, and you will be held to that word no matter what. Love Nintendo, but they're dumb sometimes. Yeah, honestly, I think that's the majority of people's opinions. You're gonna have people who don't like Nintendo stuff in general, and that's fine. Who see Nintendo being stupid and being like, but also being ridiculously successful, and people are like, how are people giving them money? Which is a fair like observation at times. But then you have the people who just like refuse to believe Nintendo has any flaws. And like, those people exist. I don't think there are that many of them. Or being honest, like, I think every Nintendo fan to an extent like understands where they sit and what Nintendo does. And it's one of those things where you're like, I mean, yeah, they did this, and you shouldn't support it. But if you're gonna like the game, you know you're gonna like the game, you're gonna buy it. That's where a lot of Nintendo fans are, right? Xbox, wait, you wanted this? Okay, here you go. PlayStation, hey, we're taking away this. Wait, sorry, we didn't mean to do that. In Nintendo, you want this? Go to Underworld, too bad. Nintendo's incredibly stubborn. Sometimes it works for them. They believed incredibly in the idea of the Wii U's like gamepad thing, and they made an entire console out of it, and now we have one of the most successful consoles in all of history. But they're extremely stubborn, you know. Terrible online for years, because even into the 2010s, like, online gaming's not a thing. It's like, you're wrong, you're incredibly wrong, but they'll stick to it. Pokemon Company and Game Freak are the same way. It's like they make their decisions and they stick to them, and it takes a long time for them to admit it if they have a bad take. They make amazing single player games, and yes, good multiplayer games, but the online is rough. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, single player stuff for sure with Nintendo is like the best. That tends to be where I end up in Nintendo games, anyways. If I play online games, it tends to be very generic, like shooters, right? So like, I'm gonna be on PC for those anyway. I think that's where I stand in general. Is Nintendo manages to fill in the like gaming needs, or like not needs, but like the section of gaming that isn't covered by anything else. So it's really easy to have one console and Nintendo and something else, basically, right? Like I have my PC and Nintendo. I think a lot of people have Xbox and Nintendo, or PlayStation and Nintendo, but you don't really have like Xbox and PlayStation nearly as much, or like PC and Xbox or stuff like that. Like, people tend to have a Switch or a Wii U or something, or a 3DS alongside their other system. but not really other systems alongside each other. They have really well-known IPs. I mean, yeah, they basically revived gaming in the 80s, like home gaming. They revived it. So like, yeah, you have Zelda, you have Mario, you have Pokemon kind of under them, effectively under them. Like you have all these big series that are theirs. Yeah. GS Ball? What about the GS Ball? You mean that thing that doesn't exist? Alright, we got about half an hour. I think Cresselia will shine today, guys. Or will our luck with these shinies get a little bit thinner? Because man, we had a good streak the past few days. We got Regigigas, we got Giratina, we got Ralts, like good times. Good times. I mean, I wouldn't be upset if Cresselia didn't show up in under 300. Might actually be a little bit greedy to expect it does. Apparently they're working on new IPs because really haven't seen any new Nintendo IPs since ARMS. Yeah, I mean, that's another thing. They tend to do really good really well when they come up with a new IP, like Splatoon. When they put a Nintendo spin on a genre that exists that Nintendo hasn't entered, they do a really good job. Generally. You think it'll shine in the very last encounter? I think so too. They tend to do that for me. Ralts did it yesterday. I know Suicune and Raikou both did it way back the day. Regice did it as well. Like, it's like, oh, last encounter of the stream, guys. We'll wrap up. We'll do a raid and all this stuff. And then shiny, another 30 minutes spent catching it. That's how it happens. And if we find it earlier, then it'll also be the last encounter of the stream. And no matter what, it'll be the last encounter of the hunt. Never thought Nintendo would dabble in FPS, but Splatoon happened. I mean, yeah, that wasn't really FPS per se, but still, like, multiplayer shooters, they didn't. Yeah, and they came up with a new idea for it. It was turf wars and like crowd control, basically, or area control, which is awesome. Yeah, Splatoon was really fun. I want to play more of it. Also, thank you guys for getting the stream with 10 likes. I appreciate that. Yeah, so hopefully I see you guys all on the rest of the streams this week. I lost for words there. So going ahead, I'm going to keep mentioning it throughout the stream because especially the Sunday stream, I want you guys there. Yeah, tomorrow is Jirachi. Thursday is my day off, doing some stuff outside of the stream around stream time. Friday is an SOS hunt for Riolu, getting back into SOS hunting. Saturday will be Dynamax Adventures plus either Cresselia or the first Unova Legend, depending on if we get Cresselia today or not. And then Sunday is an SOS shiny hunting race with the one and only Puffin. That's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really excited for it. The plan is to be hunting for Corsola, and that'll be a lot of fun. Puffin was talking about how the ones he's done in the past, the chats have been like mixed together and like bouncing back and forth between the chats and trolling each other and stuff. And I think it'll be a lot of fun. So I want you guys to show up for that, so we can try to stand up to the Puffin party in terms of the trolling. We gotta out troll them. I wonder what Splatoon 3 will be like. I'm excited to see it. It seems almost like the trailer gave me vibes of like a much deeper story, if that makes sense. A really amazing thing you love about Nintendo is when they come up with something new, they usually go all out and do a really good idea. Yeah. Again, I think that comes down to their stubbornness, right? Like, if they have a good idea, they know they have a good idea. But if they have a bad idea, they really think they have a good idea and they will stick to it. It's like, it's one of those things where just it either really makes it work or it really burns you. You know, that's just how it happens. So I don't really. So again, like I don't like to really fault them overly too much. There are points where they deserve it. The online situation is one of them. But they tend to do really well. Like I don't fault them for experimenting and it flopping, you know, because when they experiment, that's when we get some of the best stuff. So if it flops, it flops. But if for every flop, they knock it out of the park with something else. Hopefully we get some more news about BDSP and Legends soon. Just talking about games and new stuff in general. Hopefully we hear some more, especially about the Sinnoh remakes soon. I would really like to see some more information about those. Just some more gameplay and a little bit more in terms of what is being brought into those games that wasn't in them originally, right? I want to see some more stuff about that. I want to see them potentially have updated shaders. Because who knows, with Ilka, who knows what Ilka will take into consideration as far as feedback goes from that initial trailer, right? Like, it is admittedly pretty close to like the date that they will be sealing up, finishing that game, and turning it into ship. Even though the games come out in the fall, you got to get through ESRB ratings, you got to get through petty ratings, you got to get through. I feel like almost even FCC ratings for being just a piece of electronics. Actually, I don't think it's FCC, but like, you gotta get through so many different like rating processes. You gotta get approved by Nintendo fully. You gotta be QC'd. Like, you got all this stuff going on. They're gonna be wrapping up any development changes to that game soon, if not already. So it'll be interesting to see more from that game. I want to see more, but I think whatever the next trailer we see will be the final look at the gameplay. Barring like egregious problems they gotta fix. You have all three consoles, Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo, and you like them all. Console wars really are dumb. I mean, they are. Yeah, especially what's great now, is we're getting to the point where enough online games are running their own multiplayer servers that you're no longer relying on the Xbox Live Network or the PSN Network, which is incredible. That's kind of the point that we've been getting at with Nintendo being behind. Nintendo's finally embracing the concept of having a centralized Nintendo Online Network service just in time for Xbox Live and PSN to kind of be like phasing that back out in terms of developers run their own servers or publishers run their servers so they can do cross-platform. Because that's kind of where we're getting to, right? Like, cross-platform's definitely where it's at. Console wars are dumb. It shouldn't matter which like box you're playing your game on if they can all play together, right? So, yeah. I haven't really... I will say I am guilty of having been like a fanboy of like Xbox back in like the 360 days when I was in, you know, middle school and early high school and stuff, but like it doesn't matter. Let's be real, it doesn't matter. You're pumped for E3, playing for Breath of the Wild 2 news because Aonuma said you get some news sometime this year. That'd be nice. Because I know people were kind of expecting some Breath of the Wild news around the 35th anniversary announcements they did. It'd be cool to see something come from that. I'm not a super big Zelda fan, personally. Like, that's nothing against the series. I just never got into it, even really with Breath of the Wild. But yeah, that'd be awesome. It'd be awesome for, like, everyone who's a fan of it. I love seeing the information about those games. Even if I don't play them, I like seeing all the news come out and, like seeing things that people are able to get excited about happen. You know, just in general, seeing progress be made on stuff. You know, I want all the franchises to do well. I want all the fandoms to be able to get what they want and have all the success, so... That'll be exciting to see. A Rocket League song again? Yeah, flip reset. Mega Mew, welcome to the stream. You haven't been to a stream for a year or two. How's it been? It's been good. It's been going well. How are you doing, Mega Mew? Good to see ya. Hope you're doing well. But yeah, streams have been good. We've been getting back into it since about January. I had taken a pretty solid break myself. But yeah, streams are good. Still Nintendo fanboy first and foremost. That's fair. People forget Zelda's 35th is this year. Yeah. But I think, like, well, they made the announcement. I guess, was it during the Direct that they announced, like, Splatoon 3 as well? But they had, like, an announcement I think everyone was expecting when they announced, like, the Skyward Sword remake as well as, like, the Skyward Sword Joy-Cons. Like, they expected that to be the, they expected Breath of the Wild to be the headlining thing there. But it wasn't. Like, I mean, yeah, they have a whole year to do stuff with it, but I guess people are talking more so around what, like, month did the first Zelda release in? Like, what month becomes, like, the 35th for it, right? Yeah, Skyward Sword HD, yeah. So we got that. But I think people were kind of expecting a little bit more. At least news for Breath of the Wild, too, but I think the teaser they gave was really was a safe amount to show for that point. I don't think we're anywhere near really getting through any of that. All right. Let's see. I'm just gonna play from the top the greatest hits for the rest of the night. So we got about 15 minutes. They said later this year you're thinking E3. Yeah, that kind of seems to be the thought. That'd be a good time for it. Like, we're a good chunk into the year. E3's online. I mean, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, we're finally getting numbers to go down consistently in most places. So, like, yeah, don't have a big in-person event. That would be highly frowned upon right now. Hopefully we can start having in-person events more by the end of this year. That's my hope. I think we're on track to being able to kind of start doing that. It's got to be their banger announcement. It's got to be. I mean, honestly, them announcing it in the first place kind of was. Did they say any kind of timeline for the release of it? Like, do we have a year? Basically, do we have a year that they intend to release Breath of the Wild 2? Have they said that? Or is all we're going off of still, like, predictions and stuff for that? Because, like, if they have a 2022 release, and, like, officially stated a 2022 release, I would imagine we could see some basic gameplay at E3. Possibly. But if we're not to that point, we don't have a release date. I have nothing to think about for that. Yeah, we don't have a release date. Yeah, in that case, like, I don't know what they would say, because I think in general, I personally find it smart not to say a whole lot about a game until it's really close to coming out, and you're effectively trying to hype the game for sales, like, right there at the end. The last, like, month or two, maybe. You know, you start really pushing for it. You say, like, you've been talking about the release date, you know the game's coming out, but then when you start saying, hey, it's in a month, here's all the stuff. That's when it makes sense, I think, to start really showing teasers, or more than teasers, right? Like, we've gotten the teaser, right? It's gonna happen, but it's no, like, true gameplay or anything. Because you risk being in a situation like Cyberpunk, where you constantly show gameplay or, like, fake gameplay, and you constantly hype this up, you constantly talk about it for years, and it gets overblown. And, like, the hype is too high, you cannot meet it, right? Like, you never want to be in that situation. It's in development. Yeah. Sequel to the Breath of the Wild is in development. Yeah, so I mean, in that case, I would say, in that case, the thing to expect from E3 is probably another teaser. Very minimal, like, look at the world that they're going to put it in, and a release date. That's what I would assume you see. That is my assumption of what we would see. Any more than that, you kind of run into this issue of people are going to start hyping way too much. I mean, people are going to hype anyways, that's the problem. But, like, if they hype with nothing but it's in development, here's a release date, that's on them. If you start giving out too much information and they can't match that, then that's a problem. When you first saw Breath of the Wild 2, you ran out of your house screaming? I was kind of like, huh, neat. Was that the same... Was that revealed in the same cycle as Dexit? I think that was the same cycle as the National Dex getting cut, if I'm not mistaken. So I think that kind of overshadowed any other announcements from Nintendo for me. It's like Metroid Prime 4, glad they never showed gameplay because they had to restart development. Better to not get expectations too high. Exactly. Like, it becomes too much of an expectation from, like, the community to be like, where is gameplay? I want to see gameplay. I must see this. But, like, so you have, like, people who want to do, you know, gameplay trailer breakdowns and all this stuff. And Nintendo wants to please them because they're the ones who are promoting this game for free, effectively. Every game studio wants that kind of thing, right? Like, so you have all of this happening, and then, you know, you get to the game, like, but then at that point, expectations are overblown, or you end up in a situation, like you said, with Metroid Prime 4, where it's like, you gotta restart, now all of this is invalid, like, all right, we have a second chance for the emojis, yeah, 2019, yeah, so that would have been, the same time as Dexit, so that definitely overshadowed every other Nintendo announcement for me then, was, me as the collector and completionist in Pokemon, learning that the National Dex fully didn't exist in the games. I was like, yeah, I'm not having as much fun. I'm not having as much fun paying attention to Nintendo stuff right now. Yeah, so just under-promise, over-deliver is the best policy, but it's really easy for the hype train to get to the developers, like, to get into the developers' heads, and the developers want to also be on the hype train and promote the hype train, and then you end up in a situation where you've overhyped it, and you're like, I don't know what to do, I have promised all these things, and then you can't do it. No Man's Sky is another example. I think part of the problem there was just their PR guy was not a PR guy. He was a coder who got looped into being the PR guy. He didn't want to be that, but that's what happened. So I think for him, that kind of sucked. So people are like, can it do this? It's like, maybe. We don't know yet. And he's not giving, like, solid, concrete answers, and the maybe's taken as a yes. And, like, so you end up in a situation kind of, you know, Cyberpunk kind of had that. Like, Cyberpunk just had so many years of hyping up. So, yeah. It'd be cool to see some stuff for it. Again, I'm not really super excited for it in general, just as a personal disinterest in a lot of Zelda stuff. Again, nothing against Zelda. I just never got into it. So, for me, like, in general, it's like, What I hope for, like, I hope for the sake of the Zelda fandom, I hope that they get a good game that they like. And I'm just looking forward to more Pokemon stuff at this point. I am hopeful for Legends Arceus being good. There are concerns I think I've stated them before on stream. I have concerns after seeing the trailer, but we'll see. Dexit doesn't bother you. The Switch is so small and comes with such limitations and small storage on the base console that you understand why. Think of the next-gen console is more powerful. That argument, the argument of the Switch storage size, makes sense in the context of comparing Switch storage to other console storage like an Xbox or a PlayStation. Switch cartridges are gigabytes larger, like entire, like, factors of 10 larger in capable storage space than a 3DS cartridge. I know the cartridge versus the system are different. The system does have a pretty pitiful amount of storage. My problem with Dexit, for one, aside from the collector side of it, comes down to, and obviously they've kind of fixed it with DLC and, like, allowing people without the DLC to also bring them in, was the fact that they said, we're cutting Pokemon to spend more time on making the game quality with animations and, like, models. And then they come out and say, And then you know, we see the animations are still normal Pokemon animations. There's weird ones that don't line up really well. You know, stuff like that. Stuff like that. That kind of like, that's not the real reason. Like, it was like, if they had come out and said, because it's kind of come out unofficially, but like the rumors are, their importer got busted for moving them from the 3DS Gen 7 engine to the Gen 8 engine, the models, and it just broke and the importer didn't work and they had to remodel them. If that's what happened, honestly, if they had come out and said, we had internal issues, we weren't able to import all the models, we will have all the models that are available for Pokemon naturally in Galar in the game at the start, and we will work to add the models back in later on, that's fine. Honestly, that's fine. It's a little bit of a disappointment, but Gen 7 didn't allow Pokemon Bank connectivity for like 3 months, I think. That's fine. Like, that's not unprecedented for Pokemon not to all be available immediately. But the idea that they said it was for quality and the game still came out really rough and unpolished, that's where it gets to me a little bit more, right? The full decks will come back if Game Freak isn't just lazy. Oh yeah, that was total BS. Yeah, Wingulls, trees, etc. Like, that's the thing, right? Like, or Gyarados in the water not having a proper animation, like that kind of thing. Like, if the game was ridiculously polished, and we had, if there was an issue with the decks and the game was ridiculously polished, HD, like all the HD models, which granted are just the 3DS models, the models on the 3DS are so overly done that they're still good in HD. They didn't have to redo the models, they said to import them, but their importer potentially broke. If that's the case, yeah, I totally understand that. It's like, look, we're shipping this game this year. That's been the plan. Our timeline would have been thrown off by over a year because of this. Like, we don't want to release these games now. Like, if it was a year later or 2 years later, if we were just now getting Sword and Shield because of like fixing, I get that. Say that. That's fine. But yeah, to say like it's for the quality of animations, you know. Again, I think any individual problem with Sword and Shield isn't a problem. It's the combination of them all. You know, that's my opinion. And again, I just think it wasn't the right reason to give. If they gave a less like obviously not true reason, that's fine. It comes down to knowing Game Freak was obviously rushed. Yeah, I mean, I think Game Freak and Pokemon Company have kind of faltered. I think, and again, this is something I would talk about with Snap. I don't know if I intend to really fully enjoy Snap. Like, I intend to enjoy it. I purchased it, but like, I don't know if I'm not expecting for Snap to be the best game ever. I don't know if I would even really say that it was a game that I will get a full $60 of enjoyment out of, but I think it is an effort worth $60 of moving the franchise in the right direction. You know, I think in general with the Switch era of Pokemon, Game Freak has kind of dropped the ball a little bit. I think we go back to Nintendo and their predictions. They're very stubborn in their ways. Pokemon Company very, very publicly and largely did not think the Switch was going to do well. They were wrong, but they stuck with it, and then they had to make a game on the Switch, and they were behind. So, I get that. If you use Citra and put it at max resolution, the models are insane, even in the compressed 3DS state. Yeah, exactly. Their poly count is insane. That's why things like Horde Battles and Battle Royale and all these... Anything where a lot of models were loaded into a Pokemon game makes a 3DS, even one of the new 3DS or new 2DS systems, they chug because these models are too high too high poly count for the 3DS, just straight up. But they built them intending, they fully built them intending to move them up to HD systems. That was their plan. They're like, we don't want to remodel sprites every time. Let's just make them how we want them to look, and that is our look for forever. And it works. It's fine. It makes sense. The only 3D Pokemon games to come to a console, or like the only like close to mainline core games that have come to a console that don't use these models is Let's Go, because it uses Go models. You know, like that's where we stand with that. So yeah, like the models were fine. They could have imported all the models. I wouldn't be surprised if the importer broke. Whoever they contracted to write their importer, or if they wrote it in-house, just wrote it wrong and never told anyone, and like it just didn't work and it broke horrifically. Like, yeah, you're kind of screwed then. Yeah, you can tell the rest in some areas of the base game. Yeah. Yeah. So again, like, if they said, yeah, like, we had issues importing models, we can't add them all yet, like, yeah, go for it. Yeah, because you gotta because that's the thing, like, if you can't import the model, you can't re-rig it. Like, you have to redo, or you have to re-rig it if you have to remake the whole model. Like, the animations are intrinsically locked to that model. So, yeah, if they have problems like that, I totally get it. 3D animation and stuff with those models is a crazy large amount of development time. So yeah, if they weren't planning on having to do that work and they suddenly had to, and it was going to take them until like the time they released the DLC, then yeah, I get it. 3DS would almost die when there were too many models on the screen. Yeah. Didn't look high res, but they were super high res. Just 3DS screens low quality. Yeah, I mean, resolution and poly count are different, but yeah, they're incredibly high fidelity when it comes to poly count. But yeah, then you put it on on this resolution, like a 240p screen. Of course, it looks bad. All right, guys, we got 3 more minutes. Let's see if we can get a few more encounters in here. I think we'll go 1 more encounter here. We'll go to 325. Or 2 more encounters, effectively. We'll do encounter number 325. So we're doing 324 right now. And then we'll pick up with Jirachi tomorrow. I'm excited for that, guys. Alright, one last encounter today, guys. If you look at Let's Go, there's obvious signs that they care and that it was developed with care and time. But with Sword and Shield, it was so obviously rushed and having to share dev time with Let's Go. You see what happened? Yeah, for sure. Or playing online and never played Battle Royale online on Sun and Moon because your poor 3DS will lag. I just didn't enjoy Battle Royale. I don't enjoy Battle Royale as an entire genre. And like that applies even to the Pokemon one. I tried to give it a shot. I didn't like it though. I just didn't enjoy it. Alright guys, so that is our last encounter for the night. I am copying a link to the Shiny Shack stream. We're going to go raid them. And then I will see you guys again tomorrow. It's been a fun time hanging out, talking with everyone. And yeah, we'll be back on tomorrow doing Jirachi raids. I want to see everyone over in the raid on Shiny Shack. And I will talk to you all next time. And until then, take care.